All right, welcome back to the podcast, episode 218.
Hey everyone. Mark, I gotta say, when you pitched this topic, I was intrigued. Something about breakthroughs in coolant distribution units?
Oh man, Jenny, this is the cool part. We're talking about CoolIT Systems and their new CHx2000 CDU. It sounds maybe a little dry, I know, but trust me, it's pretty fascinating for anyone working with data centers, especially with all the H&I stuff happening now.
Okay, you've piqued my interest. CHx2000 CDU. Let's break it down. What even is a CDU in this context?
So basically what's happening is data centers are getting hotter. Much hotter. With these powerful AI chips, you can't cool them effectively with just air anymore. You need liquid cooling. And a CDU, a coolant distribution unit, is like the heart of that liquid cooling system. It circulates the coolant to the servers and back.
Got it. So it's pumping the essential fluid to keep everything from melting down. And CoolIT Systems is announcing further breakthroughs with this new model, the CHx2000.
Exactly. And here's the thing about this CHx2000. They've managed to squeeze some serious performance out of it. We're talking a 2 megawatt cooling capacity. That's pretty significant.
2 megawatts? Okay, I need a reference point. Is that standard? Is that a big leap?
It's a big leap. Looking at some of the info, their previous model, the CHx1500, this new one is a 66% improvement over that. And if you compare it to what they call the 1350 CDU, it has over twice the cooling capacity.
Over twice the capacity? Wow. So they're packing a lot more cooling power into, what kind of footprint are we talking about?
That's another key point. It's still a compact design. We're looking at a 750 by 1200 millimeter footprint. So it's designed to fit neatly within existing data center rows. That makes deployment much easier.
Okay, wait, let's get this straight. More than double the cooling capacity compared to some others, a significant jump from their last generation, and it still fits in a relatively standard space? How are they doing that?
That's the engineering magic, right? They mention achieving an unmatched 53 psi secondary head pressure. That pressure is crucial for pushing the coolant effectively to where it needs to go, especially in dense server racks.
53 psi. So it's not just about the sheer volume of coolant, but the pressure and flow rate. I saw something about 1.2 LPM per kilowatt?
Yes, 1.2 liters per minute per kilowatt. That flow rate is optimized for these high-density loads. Think of it like a really powerful, efficient circulatory system for the data center. It's designed to keep those super hot chips, like the NVIDIA GB200s, running cool.
Ah, the NVIDIA GB200s. Those are some of the heavy hitters in the AI world right now. So this CDU is specifically designed to handle the heat from those kinds of processors?
Precisely. The CHx2000 can support up to 12120 kilowatts NVIDIA GB200 NVL72 racks. That's a lot of processing power in one place, generating a ton of heat. And this unit is built to manage it.
Supporting 12 of those racks in one go tells you something about the scale they're thinking at. So, this seems like a big deal for the liquid cooling market then?
It really does. CoolIT Systems is already considered a leader in this space, and this announcement reinforces that. As AI and high-performance computing continue to grow, the need for efficient, scalable liquid cooling is only going to increase.
And faster, higher-capacity CDUs are going to be a critical piece of that puzzle. It's not just about the servers anymore, it's about the infrastructure surrounding them.
Exactly. You can have the most powerful chips in the world, but if you can't keep them cool, they throttle performance. Or worse. The CDU is enabling the next generation of high-density computing.
That's fascinating. And the compact size means data centers might not have to rip everything out to upgrade their cooling, which I imagine is a huge plus.
Certainly. It makes the transition or expansion much more practical. It's an evolution in how we manage heat in these intense computing environments.
What about the flip side? Is it all upside? Are there potential hurdles with something like this?
That's a fair point, Jenny. While the performance specs are impressive, implementation isn't always simple. One of the big considerations is cost. These advanced liquid cooling systems, including the CHx2000, can be a significant investment upfront compared to traditional air cooling.
Right, so while you get the performance boost, the budget is a factor for data center operators.
Exactly. And then there's the energy consumption. While liquid cooling is more efficient for high-density loads than trying to blast air, The sheer scale of these data centers means energy use is always a concern. We're moving more heat, which still requires energy, even if it's done more effectively.
That makes sense. So, it's improved efficiency for a given workload, but the overall power draw for a massive facility is still something to consider from an environmental standpoint too, right?
Precisely. And finally, integration can present challenges. While the CHx2000 is designed to fit within row layouts, integrating it with every existing server architecture or a mix of legacy and new systems isn't always seamless. There can be plumbing complexities, compatibility issues with different server designs.
So it's not just plug and play for every data center out there.
Not always. It requires careful planning and expertise to implement successfully. But for data centers pushing the boundaries with AI and HPC, the benefits of managing that heat efficiently often outweigh these challenges.
It sounds like a balancing act. Performance and future-proofing versus the initial investment and potential implementation complexities.
That's a good way to put it. It highlights the ongoing evolution in data center design and operation. It's a constant push and pull.
It will be interesting to see how this CHx2000 is adopted, and what kind of real-world performance data emerges.
Agreed. It's a key piece of the infrastructure needed for the future of AI and HPC. Definitely one to keep an eye on. It makes you wonder too, how much further can we push liquid cooling? What comes after this?
That's a wild thought. Is there a physical limit to how much heat we can wick away with liquid in a compact space?
It feels like we're always finding new engineering tricks, doesn't it? Maybe it's different coolants, different pump designs, or even rethinking the server architecture itself to be even more liquid-friendly.
Yeah, the chips are getting hotter, which means the cooling has to get, cooler and more efficient.
And faster, exactly. It's an arms race between processing power and heat dissipation.
All right, Mark. Thanks for shedding some light on the world of coolant distribution units. It's more exciting than it sounds at first pass.
My pleasure, Jenny. Always happy to dive into the tech that keeps the world running and cool.
Ha ha! And that wraps up episode 218. We'll catch you next time.